MacMaths, MacMaths, let's do some maths today. Statistics. Okay, so we're doing probability. This is lesson 5b. Section 5b is about Venn diagrams. So I'm going to quickly go through some Venn diagrams with you, for what they are, the terms with those from GCSE, just in case you've forgotten. You probably not, but you might have done. I'm going to do that, and then some support with exercise 5b. I started writing out the questions for exercise 5b. I just did the problem and what the ones it said the exam questions were, sort of when I did the questions myself, they were just a little bit easy, to say the least. Anyway, so I might go through those a little bit quicker than I had planned. Okay, so Venn diagrams. So you remember from maybe I did them at primary school, didn't do it at secondary school, did them at primary school. So let's have a look at a Venn diagram. So they're the ones that look like that, aren't they? And let's put some information in one just to explain it. So let's get a different colour pen, get me a blue pen. Let's say there's 10 students all together, and they were asked whether they liked red or blue paint. Okay, and so red or blue, and 2 students said they liked both. There's 3 just red, 1 just blue, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's 4 there that said they didn't like either colour. Okay, so there's a Venn diagram, that's what it is. And you can either have them at A level, we either have them like that with the actual raw numbers in. Okay, so there's 10 students, 4 that didn't like red or blue, 2 that liked both, 3 that just like red. There's 5 that said they like red altogether, because you've got to take the whole circle. There's 3 that said they like blue altogether, 2 there and 1 there, 2 that said they like both, and 4, and all those numbers add up to 10 students. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, of course at A level we can also do it with probabilities, so you can put the probabilities straight in. So sometimes we draw diagrams and put the probability straight in. So the probability of choosing a student who likes, randomly choosing a student who likes both red and blue, is 2 out of 10, so 2/10, and 2/10 of course is 0.2. So the reason why I chose 10 is so I could just work these out easy. So those would be the probabilities. So you either see them written with numbers, so you have to change them into probabilities, into fractions and decimals, or just straight in with probabilities, so they all add up to 1. The terms to do with, just reminding you, the terms to do with probability is that this section here, okay, that is, you see it as that is the intersection of R and B, so it's that word intersection. So it's both. If you do it like that, that's all of it, and they call that the union, okay? And that's both red and blue, and both. The unit is everything. And if you see things that are that dash, it means complement. And that means everything apart from that. So if I just rub that out a minute there, put that 2 back in, the complement of R is all of that. Okay, everything apart from what's inside of R. Okay, so those are the 3 sort of words you need to do: the intersection, just the middle bit, the union, both, and that. R, of course, would just be the whole circle. R dash would be everything outside of that circle. So there are 5 students, so it'd be 0.5 the probability of choosing someone who didn't choose red. Okay, and so that's just from GCSE. Okay, let's have a look at the questions then. So this is support with exercise 5b. I wrote them out, so I did question 1. I thought I'd do question 1. It goes up to 7, the exercise 5b. Question 1, but question 4 it labels as, I think it labeled, why did I put question 4 in? Hang on a minute. I put question 4 in because, oh, it says that's a problem. It's got a P next to it. And then these ones, it says they're a problem and they're an past exam question. So that's why I put those ones in. So 4 it's saying is a problem, and 5, 6 and 7 it's saying is actually an exam question. And number 1, because it's number 1 and it's obviously going to be the easiest one. Okay, so I thought I'd go through those with you a little bit quicker because I realised I think 2 of them, yeah, 4 and 5 are actually the same question. So it's just different numbers. So I probably won't go through both those, just one of those. All right, so here we go. Question 1. And of course I've shortened the question. So in the book it says there are 25 students in a class and they either study German, French or both or neither, you know. So draw a Venn diagram. So there we go. Because it says that there's both in there, so you do the overlap. French and German, and it's direct numbers, not probabilities. So direct numbers, they've all the numbers in here have got to add up to 25. 16 German, 14 French and 6 both. So the 6 can go in the middle because they've 16 German. Okay, so there's already 6 in the German circle, so another 10. Don't be tempted to put 16 in there because then you're saying that 22 study German, so that's the little trick. And French, 14 study French, so must be another 8. And if you add those up, 10, 8 and 6 and 1 must be the makes the 25 students altogether. There's got to be 25 inside of that thing. So now we've got that, we can work out the probabilities. They just lend themselves to fractions here, this one. So let's just leave the answers as fractions. Find the probability P of French. So that is all of those who study French is 14 of them. So probability of French is 14 out of 25. So capital P for probability, and then you just put in brackets or an abbreviation of what it's for. It's a quick way of mathematicians do that. The probability of French and German. So probability of French and German is obviously 6/25. Of French and not German. Okay, so the probability of French and not German, so that's only 8 because those 6 do German as well, so it's 8 out of 25, and neither is 1 out of 25. Probability of neither is 1 out of 25. God, that's easy. Okay, alright, so that one done. Okay, you're okay with that, aren't you? Have a go at those before you carry on with these questions. Okay, so do 2, 3, 2 and 3. Now on to 4, a little bit more. So it's saying it's a problem. Let's have a look. In school you got, it's a bit annoying this because they went blue eyes and blonde hair, so you can't just put B and B or BL and BL. Okay, so there we go, and I'm going to go blue and blonde. And the probability in a school of blue is 0.27. I can't put that in yet because 0.27, can't put it in there because it's the whole thing. And blonde hair is 0.35. So blue, blonde or both is 0.45. Okay, so this is the little trick here that works with a lot of them. So blue, blonde or both is 0.45. So that is blue union with blonde, that's what we were talking about before, is 0.45. That's everything in here. And we don't know that middle bit, we don't know the overlap. Okay, so what you do is, the little trick here is you just create an equation, you call that x. Now you know that blue eyes is 0.27, so all of that is 0.27. So this bit here, of course, is 0.27 minus x. And this bit, the blonde hair, is 0.35. All of that is 0.35, so 0.35 minus x. Okay, so now all of that added together is 0.45. So that's your 0.27 minus x plus plus 0.35 minus x is equal to 0.45. Okay, and your minus x plus x cancels out minus x, so 0.27 plus 0.35 is 0.62. So all of that side simplifies to that, add x to both sides, goes over there, take 0.45 off both sides, okay, and we get x is equal to 0.17, that's what I make it. Okay, so we know that bit now is 0.17. Once we've got that, we can answer all the questions now, can't we? We can even, if we wanted to make it easy for us on the exam, readjust 0.17 and just write them all in. Okay, so this is, the whole thing is 0.27 minus that is 0.1, and those two, so that would be 0.18, wouldn't it? Okay, add 0.17 is 0.35, the whole thing. Yep. Okay, so now let's have a look at the questions. The probability of blonde and blue, probability of blonde and blue is the 0.17 that we just worked out. Blonde not blue, so blonde and not blue, that's this bit here. The probability of blonde not blue, I've got to write out the whole words now, don't I, is 0.18, and neither blonde or blue is whatever's left over here, so that is 1 take away whatever's in there, because they all have to add up to 1, because these are probabilities, aren't they? So what have we got? We've got 17 and 18 is 35, 35 add 10 is 45, so 0.55, that would make 1, so neither is 0.55. Okay, yeah, so that's that one. I don't think I'll do this one here, because this is in a doctor's surgery waiting room, and you read either the Higher magazine or the Dakar magazine. So this is just, if you see, if I leave that one up now, you can see if I go Higher magazine or Dakar magazine, and it says the uni again, so reads either one or both, that's all of that is 0.7, but it doesn't give you the overlap, so we're still down to x there. So our starting point is we don't have x again, and Higher is 0.6, so it's 0.6 minus x, and this one is 0.4 minus x. Okay, so the same equation there, but just these numbers are differently, so you can do that one. Okay, I got that as both of the answers as 0.3 when I did it. Okay, so that one, 4 and 5 are the same, the way that you do them. And then these look complicated, don't they? But actually, it's saying these are exam questions, but these are ridiculous. It says at this school or a club, you get to choose. People chose between 3 sports: archery, badminton, croquet. I'm sort of kind of guessing this is a bit of a posh club, this. Ain't any clubs I went to up north. Archery, badminton and croquet. In fact, I hadn't even heard of those 3, apart from obviously archery from watching Robin Hood, until I moved south. Okay, and croquet, when I first moved there, I thought they were just things that you ate that were posh. Anyway, so A, B or C, and you're given the probabilities, and you're given an x there and a y there and so on, and you 0.2, that just goes in, but the thing was, it tells you that the probability of choosing badminton is 0.45, so that circle there in the middle, you've got that, and you've got x 0.1 and 0.2. And if all of that, the probability of choosing badminton is 0.45, then 0.3, then x is just 0.15, isn't it? So find x and y is x. X is just 0.15, and then because the whole thing is 1, if you take off 0.05, then all those 3 circles is 0.95, isn't it? That's the union of A, B. That's A, union B, union C is 0.95. And we've got all of those sort of bits, so you just take away from 0.95 from 0.95, 0.95, take away, well, we know all of B is 0.45, so minus 0.45 and minus 0.35 is equal to 0.15. So y is 0.15 also. Okay, so that was a really bit simple. And the last one as well, again, it's maths, physics and history. Although why you would choose to study history, I mean, there's no future in that, is there? So those 3 there, and you're given bits that you don't know, but again, it's the same thing. It says the probability of maths is equal to the probability of physics, of choosing someone randomly that does physics. So that means that 0.32 plus p is equal to, that's the probability of choosing someone who does maths, is equal to all of that physics, which is p plus q plus 0.07. So you've got that as an equation. But you've got to find p and q, but you also know that if 0.1 is on the outside there, then all of that in the middle is 0.9, isn't it? Or everything in there adds up to 1, you know, so you can equate an equation that plus that plus that plus that plus that plus that equals 1. So you can just go 0.32 plus p plus q plus 0.07 plus 0.13 plus 0.1 is equal to 1. That's everything added up, isn't it? And if you did that, you've got, you add all of those up, you get, simplifying this side, you get p plus q, and 0.32 add 0.07 add 0.13 is 0.52, add the 0.1 is 0.62 is equal to 1. And so p plus q, of course, is equal to 0.38, taking 0.62 off both sides. So now you've got p plus q is 0.38. So you've got that. So 0.32, that's that, plus p, that is equal to p plus q, which is 0.38, plus 0.07. And that is equal to 0.45. So p is equal to 0.13, I make it. Okay, and p plus q is 0.38, so q is equal to, take 13 off that, so 25, 0.25. There you go, easy. Okay, so that was really, actually the Venn diagram section, that was really sort of straightforward. It was just simple, forming simple equations, wasn't it, and adding up. Okay, and I'm sure you were okay with all of those. Over and out.